Hey there, island dreamers, locals, and anyone craving a slice of paradise. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to the Fun and Key West podcast, where the vibe is always laid back, the stories are salty, and the drinks, well, they're definitely frozen. I'm your host, Michelle O'Connor, your unofficial tour guide to the Conch Republic. Whether you're planning your first trip, your fifth trip, or you're just daydreaming about trading the cubicle for the ocean breeze, you are in the right place. Here's the deal. This podcast is your insider's guide to all things Key West. We're talking where to eat, hello, conch fritters and key lime pie, where to drink, spoiler alert, there will be rum, where to stay, and all the quirky, wonderful things that make Key West the one-of-a-kind paradise we all love. Plus, we'll keep you up to date on the latest happenings, festivals, events, maybe even the occasional Hemingway lookalike sighting. And just to keep things spicy, we'll be bringing on some amazing guests now and then, locals, business owners, and people who know the island like the back of their sandy hand. So grab your flip-flops, pour yourself a cold one, and let's escape to the island state of mind together, whether you're tuning in from your hammock or your commute, while wishing it was a hammock. We've got all the Key West goodness coming your way. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a lot of fun in Key West. Let's dive in. Hey there, cocktail enthusiasts. Michelle here with Fun in Key West. And today we're turning up the summer vibes with an episode that'll level up your backyard tiki bar game. That's right. We're talking tequila to cocktails. Whether you're a margarita loyalist, a ranch water rookie, or someone who just wants to sip like a pro, this episode is serving up all the good stuff. We'll dive into the fascinating history of tequila, break down its flavor profile so you can actually pick the right bottle without panicking at the liquor store, and share some seriously refreshing tequila recipes fit for any summer gathering, tiki lights and all. Grab your shaker, stock the limes, and get ready to impress your friends with some cocktail-making magic. Trust me, your backyard bar is about to be the hottest spot in town. Cheers to good times ahead. Let's get shaken. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everybody. I am Michelle with Fun in Key West, and today I thought I would do a little something different. We are in the heart of summer, and I hope that you all are having those tiki lights all strung up. They're twinkling. You've got music playing in your backyard, and you know what? I bet you've got good food and great people over to enjoy summer. But what's in your hand as you're entertaining and in your tiki bar backyard? Hopefully it's not like a boring soda or a warm beer. Oh, no, I hope it's not. But let's talk right now about refreshing tequila drinks. I thought, you know what? Every tiki bar needs to be equipped with the ability to have a great tequila drink on hand. So today we're going to be talking all things tequila. And hopefully this will get you all stocked up for your weekend and get your tiki bar already, all tequila ready. How about that? Since this is more likely going to be heard than seen, I'm not going to do any demonstration, but it did give me an idea that, you know what, I probably need to do some videos on making the perfect tequila drink. So stay tuned. I might end up with that. But let's first and foremost, let's dive into a little bit of tequila history. In case you did not know a lot about tequila, as I grew up, you go to the local Mexican restaurant, you have the traditional margarita, and you think that's all that tequila is. It's really not. There is so much more to tequila. It has different depths and flavors and profiles that you can absolutely just dive into. It's much like bourbon and whiskey. It has its own nuances. So if tequila is something that you want to experience, feel free, check it out. Tim is saying good morning on our live feed. Tim, good morning. Cheers to you as well. Let me know in the comments, Tim, and any of you else that are watching live, let me know, what is your favorite tequila drink, or what do you sip it? Do you drink it straight? What is your favorite tequila? Let's dig into a little bit about this, though. So tequila is made from the agave plant, and that is only to be true tequila, it has to be made in Mexico. And it's It must be made from the blue Weber agave to be legally called tequila. And so blue agave is naturally sweet, it's high in sugar, and it makes a smoother and cleaner tasting spirit than any of the other agaves. So when you hear that it's blue agave tequila or see it on the label if you're going through on at the liquor store, it's actually a good thing. It means that tequila was made from 100% blue agave and didn't use filters or any added sugars. Now, if you're like me and you go to a bar or you go to the liquor store and you hit the tequila section, and either the bartender says, well, what kind of tequila do you want? I don't know. Or you stand there in front of all of those options that you have at the liquor store, I get overwhelmed. Let's give you a little bit of background here. So you have Blanco. That happens to be where I have a tendency to stay and lean into, which is Blanco. It's unaged. It's usually less than 2 months old. It's bright, it's fresh, it's clean. It's great for those light tequila drinks, and it has more of those citrus-forward cocktails you're going to find with a Blanco. Tim is saying Patron and a lime. Love your choice there. The next category of tequila is reposado, and that's usually aged 2 to 12 months in oak barrels. So it's going to have more of that oakiness, that mellow taste, and it's going to have a slightly warmer aftertaste. And you're going to have those hints of vanilla or caramel. And this is great in margaritas, or even try it in an old fashioned for a different twist, because it does have those reminiscent flavors of whiskey and or a bourbon. It's a little more smoky. It's a little bit more have a depth of flavor. So if you're looking for a citrus forward margarita, you're going to go with the Blanco. If you're going to want a little bit more of a depth of flavor, you're going to go to the reposado. The next one, though, is an añejo. And let me try that again. Añejo. And it's aged 1 to 3 years. It's smoother, it's richer, it's great for sipping. It's not necessarily one that you would put into a cocktail, but it's great for maybe dessert cocktails because of its richer flavor. But always check your label whenever you're buying tequila to make sure it is 100% blue agave. It's likely a mixto, means it's mixed with other sugars, and that can be a little more fresher in flavor and has a little bit more or a lot more sugar. So there's a little bit of overview. Yeah, I know there's so many other flavor profiles you can go into. Those are the 3 main categories. And don't be too harsh on me on those pronunciations. I did not take Spanish in high school. I took 4 years of French. That did me very little in my adult life, but happy to have you guys join me and give me some more information about tequila. So put it down in the comments, DM me and say, hey, Michelle, check out this tequila if you like Blancos, or check out this tequila if you like them aged. So now you're setting up your tiki bar. You're going in and you're saying, hey, what do I actually need to set up my tiki bar? There are a few things that you're going to want to have on hand to make sure that tequila cocktail is perfect. You're going to want to have some simple sugar. This is basically, don't get too over complicating this. Simple sugar is basically equal parts sugar, equal parts water. A cup of sugar, a cup of water. 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. Equal parts. That's all it is. How I do it is I put it on the stove and I just warm the water up just enough to melt that sugar. And then I set it aside. Don't get it to a raging boil, because then it's going to take forever to cool down. Just enough to melt that sugar. You could also use agave nectar or agave syrup. And if you go to the grocery store and you look at the options that they have for agave, you can get the smokier kind. So think about the flavor profile that you're going to get from that. Another thing you're going to want to have on hand is fresh lime juice. I can't stress enough that fresh lime juice is going to be way better than bottled lime juice. But if it's the middle of winter and the only limes that you have are those little tiny ones and they don't look like or feel like they're going to have a lot of juice to them, then head over to the cocktail section of your grocery store or your liquor store and grab a bottle of the key lime juice. Usually there's a few name brand there that you can pick up that's going to give you a little bit better flavor, and it's not going to have all the sugars in it. Sometimes they have even the organic kind that has absolutely no sugar in it, so be sure to check those out. You're also going to want to have a triple sec or an orange liqueur like triple sec. It adds that citrus depth without actually going in and adding orange juice or lime juice or additional lemon juice. But it adds that different ambiance to that taste, that different texture and taste. Of course, you're going to want to have your juices on hand. You're going to want to have some orange juice and grapefruit juice, and maybe even try this, tomato juice. Think about a tequila-based Bloody Mary. And I happen to like mine on the skinnier side, so I always top my margaritas with club soda to give it a little bit of fizziness. So you can have club sodas, but you can also do a grapefruit soda, think Topo Chico or other mineral waters. You have all these amazing flavored bubbled waters that you can buy now. Think about adding those and mixing those into some of your cocktails. Some tools that you're going to want to have on hand. You're going to want a cocktail shaker. If you don't have a cocktail shaker, here's what you can do in a pinch. You can take a mason jar that's got a tight-fitting lid and use that. You just need something to shake those ingredients over ice to keep them chilled. And then a plate of sugar or salt for rimming your glass, and a good juicer, something that is easy for you to squeeze and get all that juice out. Now let's dive in to some tequila drinks that I think you might want to have on hand so that you can pull these together and impress your friends in your back tiki yard or backyard tiki bar. Try saying that 3 times fast, right? First, you're going to have your classic margarita. You're going to use that Blanco tequila. You're going to use fresh lime juice, some orange liqueur, and a dash of simple syrup or agave. You're going to shake that in your shaker over ice so everything gets all nice and chilled. And then you're going to salt your rim, put a little bit of lime juice around, rub your lime around it, dip it in a little bit of rim your glass in some salt, and do all of that. That is a wonderful one. That's called On the Rocks. If you want to get ultra fancy, of course, you can get it into a blender and you can blend it all up and make it like your local Mexican restaurant. I happen to like mine on the rocks. I think it's a little more lighter. It's a little more refreshing. It's a little more backyard friendly to me. You could also float an orange slice in there or do a splash of orange juice for that extra citrus flavor. The one I like I said before, is a skinny margarita. So you're going to start again with that Blanco tequila. You're going to do a squeeze of fresh lime juice. You're going to do a splash of orange juice or triple sec. And then I top up the rest of your glass with club soda. You just get that light effervescence from the bubbles. And I think it's so much fun. And why is it called a skinny margarita? Because it has less sugar, fewer calories, and you get a little bit of a hydration boost from that club soda. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to substitute you from not having to drink water. Always drink your water. Go back and drink water in between your tequila drinks. When I'm in Disney over at Epcot and hit the Mexican Pavilion and head in to get a margarita there, I love getting a ranch water. This is a Texas classic, but it's one of those great ways to enjoy tequila in almost its purest form. So it's usually a Blanco tequila, but if you want to try a mezcal or a different kind of tequila, go for it. This is a way to try the flavor profile of a different tequila. You put your tequila in, put a little bit of fresh lime juice, and then you top it with something fizzy, soda water, club soda, something like that. And so it's a lot like a skinny margarita. You just don't add the citrus or the triple sec. So I think it's great. There's no sugar, there's no fuss. It's just crisp and clean, and it really gives you that flavor of the tequila. Want a little extra kick? Throw in a couple jalapeno slices. A Pomona cocktail, this is going to be grapefruit forward. So you're going to use grapefruit and tequila and your lime juice and then salt it if you want, and then put in a grapefruit wedge. That's going to be more that grapefruit bite. So it's very refreshing in the summertime. Think about putting in maybe some watermelon. If it's fresh and you have it available, tuck in some watermelon into one of these tequila recipes, muddle it in, and then you get that fresh watermelon flavor. Another thing to do, which I think would be really interesting and very yummy, would be you take the watermelon, put it in your blender, blend it all up, strain that out. You've got a little bit of watermelon juice that you can then pour into one of these tequilas. Have a tequila sunrise, which is very classic. Orange juice, tequila, and the grenadine, and the way they separate, it looks like a sunrise. I always think of it as a sunset, a Key West sunset. So sunrise, sunset, depends on how you are looking at it. And like I said, you can create any of these to be a little extra spicy by throwing in a couple jalapeno slices. Now, I spent the last week with my granddaughter, who is in this mocktail craze, loves mocktails. Everywhere we went, it was like, do they have a mocktail? Can I try one? And she put me into them. They are very fun, very flavorful, and they give you a lot of options without all that morning issues that, the next day. So if you're not going to be imbibing in any tequila, or you just have a crowd that, it's a Tuesday night, you got work the next day, let's do some mocktails. Great. Think about a no tequila sunrise or a no tequila sunset, depending on how you want to do that. So that would be orange juice. You get the splash of the grenadine, and my grenadine is cherry juice, so grenadine, and then you top that off with club soda. Refreshing, you get those different flavor profiles, plus you get those separations of the color. And you put it into a tall glass and maybe serve it with a cherry and an orange slice. And I'm telling you, that is a refreshing evening mocktail. If you're looking for something a little more fizzy, a little more fun, you can always do a citrus fizz smash. So that's lemon and lime and orange juice and a honey syrup. So maybe a simple syrup with a little extra honey into it, or just a little splash of agave in there and some soda water. You're going to shake it over ice, and then you're going to pour it over crushed ice, and then you're going to add some mint to that. So think about as you bring the glass up to your nose and you smell the mint, and then you have all of that refreshing citrus come in. That is a very, very nice mocktail. And of course, you have the grapefruit forward one. So it's going to be fresh grapefruit juice, lime juice, that agave nectar, and club soda. And then you're just going to add a grapefruit wedge on top. So you can have fun with these mocktails. Put them in fun glasses, salt the rim, add the garnishes. A mocktail can be just as fun and can be just as delicious as the tequila drinks, but it opens up the door to have others who would not normally have a cocktail with you have a cocktail. So we're going to go back to setting up that tiki bar in your backyard. How many of us have a tiki bar in our backyard? I have one in my basement. I haven't quite got to the point where I have one in my backyard yet. I'm working on it. I do have the lights up. I have it drawn up. I have it planned out. It's going to have a pizza oven, all of that. I just haven't got that far yet. Travel, life, all of that. If you guys, though, have your backyard set up, I'm looking for ideas on how to get mine to be the perfect setup. So put down in the comments of, hey, Michelle, here's pictures of what my backyard looks like. Or send me a DM and say, hey, Michelle, check out these ideas. I'm always looking for an idea to inspire myself to get motivated on pulling together that tiki bar. But make sure if you're going to have just a small group of gathering or people just stop in and say hi occasionally, make sure you always have a bottle of Blanco on hand. As you can see, that Blanco can go into just about any cocktail and gives you that tequila flavor. Always have some simple syrup. If you make it in yourself and you put it in the fridge, it's probably going to last about a week. I wouldn't let it get too far beyond that. Or always have some agave syrup, because you can use that agave syrup on maybe your yogurt in the morning with your parfaits, put it over your oatmeal. There's lots of things you can do with agave syrup. Make sure you stroll through either the farmer's market or your grocery store and grab some fresh limes and oranges and grapefruit. They're always great to have on hand. And I have a bottle of club soda on hand or soda water. I have one of those fizzy bottle makers that gives me fizzy water whenever I want it on demand. And so I just love having that as a great option. I found interesting as I was doing a little bit of research for this podcast is you see a bee sometimes as part of the logo or a tequila bottles. And I was like, what's with the bee? Why is there always a bee? Well, bees love blue agave, and it's essential for the plant's survival in regions because they pollinate and do all those things that bees do. So many brands use a bee in their logo to show sustainability, quality, and a nod back to tradition. I found that very cool. Patron is the most well-known bee branded tequila. It's also a brand that promotes high quality blue agave farming. So go back through and look at how they their story, and it's really interesting as to how this all comes together. And of course, you have some boutique brands that use bee motifs in their packaging and in their marketing. So whether or not you love a classic margarita on the rocks, a classic margarita that's whipped up in the blender, you love watermelon coolers, or you're totally into mocktails, I think there's a cocktail or a recipe for you. Whether you're planning your backyard bash, you're just relaxing in your own tiki bar, or you just need a cool, refreshing drink after a long day at work. I think there's a tequila drink for every vibe. And that's why I wanted to share this on this Taste or Thirsty Thursday. Hard to believe it's already Thursday, isn't it? But it's already Thursday. Of course, there are lots more cocktail recipes if you head over to FunInKeyWest.com. Over there, we have all of our island-inspired recipes, and there's a section there all about cocktails. How to make your own margarita mix, your strawberry daiquiri mix, how to use your Margaritaville frozen concoction maker, all kinds of things over there. Plus all kinds of desserts that maybe pair very well with a tequila drink. For example, you'll probably find a recipe over there for margarita ice cream and, of course, margarita cupcakes. Yeah, I know. Sounds yummy, doesn't it? Of course, if you're sitting in your backyard or you're on your front porch and you're enjoying one of these tequila drinks, I think you need to actually be part of our book club. So while you're over there at FunInKeyWest.com, check out our book club. You'll see what we're reading this month and you'll see what we've read in the past. There's also a link there to join. It's free to join the book club. And again, we'll send you access to the private Facebook group. There's lots of chats going on. People planning to do meetups in Key West, people talking about where there's some book sales going on, book drives, and where you can go meet authors and all of that. So we keep everybody up to date on anything and everything related to books. And with the Key West that, I am Michelle with Fun in Key West. I am so glad that you guys stopped by. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tell me what you're planning on drinking today. What are you doing? Tequila? Are you doing something else? Would love to hear what you're doing. Send me a note. Let me know. Send me a pic. Send me the recipe. Better yet, send me the recipe. You guys have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye. Well, my friends, we've officially leveled up your backyard tiki bar game. And dare I say, your cocktail cred? Today, we took a deep and delicious dive into all things tequila cocktails. Because even the tiniest bit of tequila knowledge can make you the hero of your next summer gathering. If you're feeling inspired to flex your bartending skills, head over to FunInKeyWest.com for even more tequila recipes, tiki bar tips, and yes, a guide to making the perfect margarita mix. Because a well-stocked bar is a happy bar, and we believe in happy bars. But before you go, here's a couple quick things to do. Like this episode if your next happy hour is suddenly tequila-themed. Share it with your fellow cocktail connoisseurs or anyone who just really needs to ditch that warm beer. And let me know your favorite tequila cocktail or a recipe I need to try. Seriously, I'm always on the hunt for new ideas. And one last thing, don't forget to sign up for the Fun in Key West newsletter. It's like a personal invitation to island life. All the insider tips, recipes, and ridiculously fun updates straight in your inbox. Trust me, it's the email you'll actually look forward to opening. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep shaking, keep sipping, always keep it Key Westy. Cheers.